I can't believe this is happening. I sit there, looking at him, feeling my heart race in a way it shouldn't. He's been part of my life for so long, always there when I needed him. A constant. A friend. And now, here we are, caught in a silence that's heavy with everything we're not saying. My fingers fidget with the hem of my dress, a nervous habit I've never been able to shake. He leans back on the couch, the space between us seeming both too much and not enough. We shouldn't be here, not like this. Not with the thoughts running through my head. My husband, my life, it all feels distant, like an echo of something I used to know. And then there's him, sitting here, so close, and all I can think about is the way his eyes linger just a second too long. It's wrong. I know it's wrong. But that doesn't stop my heart from fluttering when he reaches over, brushing a strand of hair from my face. His touch is electric, and I don't pull away. I should have pulled away a long time ago, before we even got to this point. But I didn't. And now we're here. You okay? His voice is soft, concerned. Always so concerned. But there's something else there, too, something that sends a shiver down my spine. I nod, not trusting my voice to respond. My throat is tight, my mouth dry, and the air between us is thick with everything unspoken. We've always been close. It was never an issue, never something I questioned. He's been my rock when things with my husband fell apart. When I felt invisible, he was the one who saw me. Really saw me. And now, I can't help but wonder if maybe he's been seeing me all along, in a way either of us acknowledged until now. I stand up, trying to create some distance, needing the space to think clearly. But my legs are shaky, betraying my attempt at composure. I walk to the window, staring out at the dark street below, willing myself to focus on anything but him. But it's no use. I can feel his eyes on me, can feel the tension building between us, pulling me back to him like gravity. We shouldn't be doing this. I whisper, barely audible, but I know he hears me. My voice is strained, filled with the conflict that's tearing me apart. The weight of what we're about to do presses down on me, suffocating. He doesn't say anything for a long moment, and I'm grateful for the silence. I need time to think, to process, but my mind is racing, spinning in circles, trying to find a way out of this mess that I know deep down I don't want to escape. When he finally speaks, his voice is low, almost pleading. I know. But I can't help it. And there it is. The confession. The one we've both been avoiding, dancing around for weeks, maybe even months. The one that changes everything. The next day, I can't stop thinking about him. Every moment feels like a replay of last night, the way his touch lingered, the way we stood too close. I should feel guilty. I know I should. But all I feel is anticipation. The kind that makes your heart race when you know you're walking towards something dangerous, and you can't stop yourself. I try to focus, to bury myself in anything that will distract me from him, but my mind keeps drifting back to that tension between us. It's late afternoon when he texts me. A simple message, "Are you okay?" I stare at the screen, my fingers hovering over the keyboard. I know where this is going. I know that answering him will only pull me further into something I can't take back. But I do it anyway. Asterisk, I'm fine. You, asterisk, I send it, and the minute I hit send, my heart pounds in my chest. Within minutes he replies asking if I want to meet. Just to talk, he says. But we both know that's not true. Talking is the last thing on either of our minds. I hesitate for a second, then I grab my coat and head out the door. I don't even give myself time to think. When I arrive at his place, it feels different. The air between us is charged, heavy with the weight of everything unspoken. He opens the door, and for a moment, we just stand there, looking at each other. There's no casual conversation, no attempt at pretending. We've crossed the line already in our minds, and now it's just a matter of when, not if. He steps aside to let me in, and the minute I walk through the door, the tension is palpable. I sit down, trying to act normal, but I can feel his eyes on me, feel the heat between us. Neither of us says anything for a while, and the silence feels louder than words. My heart races, and I can barely think straight. Finally, he sits next to me, closer than necessary, and I know there's no going back. His hand brushes against mine, and the touch sends a jolt through me. This is it. The moment where everything changes. I know I should stop it, but I don't move. I can't move. I want this. More than anything, I want this. He turns to face me, his eyes searching mine, waiting for some kind of permission. And in that moment I give it. Without words, without hesitation, I lean in, closing the distance between us. His lips meet mine, and the floodgates open. Every bit of tension, every stolen glance, every unspoken word crashes down around us as we give in to the inevitable. My mind screams that this is wrong, but my body refuses to listen. His hands are on me now, pulling me closer, and I let him. I want him to. It's all-consuming, the taste of him, the feel of his skin against mine. Nothing else exists. Not my husband, not my guilt, not the consequences that are surely waiting for me on the other side of this moment. And then, just as suddenly as it started, I pull back, breathless, staring at him. What have we done? There's no undoing this. No pretending it didn't happen. But instead of stopping, we both know it's too late for that. The moment our lips met, there was no turning back. Everything else dissolved, the world outside forgotten. His hands moved over my skin with a familiarity that felt both new and inevitable. I knew it was wrong. Every inch of me screamed it. But in that moment, nothing else mattered. The lines we'd drawn between us had been erased, and all that was left was this aching need to feel closer to him, to cross that boundary we both knew we shouldn't. I could hear my heart pounding in my ears, every beat reminding me of what I was doing. The guilt should have stopped me, but it didn't. His touch was all-consuming, and I surrendered to it. There was no hesitation, no second thoughts. Just him, just this moment, and the heat between us that had built for far too long. We didn't speak, didn't need to. His hands and mine communicated what words couldn't. The space between us that had felt like a chasm moments before was gone, replaced by something urgent, something that demanded more from both of us. The passion, the hunger, it was overwhelming, and I had no fight left in me to resist. As we moved together, the weight of what we were doing hung in the air, but I pushed it down, shoved it into the corner of my mind where I didn't have to face it. All I could focus on was the feel of his body against mine, the way he seemed to know exactly how to touch me, how to make me forget everything outside of us. There was a strange sort of relief in giving in, and letting go of the fight I'd been waging.